Hi folks, Saturday afternoon here in Wasilla, Alaska. We're at the 557 engine house. It's been a while since I've done a video, a few months since I've done a video. So today I decided to make a video. And we're going to talk a little bit about the next milestone that old Gypsy Rose here is about ready to endure here. It's a little noisy in here. Big compressor is working. We have Jeff and Jerry are in the boiler working on the front tube sheet, getting ready for tubes. So last year around this time, the wheels were put under this locomotive, and this year we're doing the tubes. All the tubes, everything inside the boiler is getting ready to happen. Robert Franzen and Steam Services of America are going to be here next week, early next week. And they're contracted to do all the work on the tubes and flues in the boiler here. And here we have tubes and flues all right here. And these all got to go inside of the boiler right here. So on all of these, on one end, they've been cleaned, degreased, all shiny up, and inside they've been wire wheeled. And that's just on the one end. What's going to happen is they're going to get put into the boiler, and then they have to get measured, and they're going to have to be cut. Then the other end of the pipes are going to be given the same treatment as this. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done yet, putting the tubes and flues in. There is a clock on all the tubes. Boiler time is what that's called. FRA mandates 1,472 hours or 15 years. So once the tubes get in, and I believe once there is a fire, that's when the clock ticks. Starts to tick, and there is a year grace period in that as well. So once the tubes are in, then there's going to be some hydro tests, and then after some of those hydro tests, then there's going to be a hydro test, and the FRA will have to witness, and then once they witness that hydro test and there's it's flawless, then they will sign off onto the boiler. There's still a lot more that needs to be done besides all of the tubes and flues, but this is definitely a really big milestone right here. So we're just gonna walk around here. And you can see inside of the smoke box here, that's Jeff hunched over. Jerry's behind there as well. He's behind the front tube sheet. And they're prepping all the holes and everything for all of those.
It's stuck in there, I can't get it out.
We won't bother them. They're busy here. So here's a little story that I'll tell you about old 557 here. It's getting to be close to Breakup, and we're going to climb up into the cab here. It's getting close to Breakup here in Alaska, and Breakup is, spring. Back in the old days, when 557 was still being fired and used, the Tanana River in Nenana would flood. And when it flooded the town, it also flooded the railroad track. The sole purpose of retaining 557 onto the roster for as long as Alaska Railroad did was so that 557 can ferry trains through the flooded town of Nenana from the south end of town to the other side at North Nenana. There's a siding up there. Steam locomotives have a firebox, and this is high drivered. So the firebox sits about 3.5, 4 feet up from the top of the rail. Whereas a diesel electric, they have their traction motors, which are electric, on their wheels down the axles. And that's only, what, the bottom part of a traction motor is what, maybe a foot or so from the top of the rail. So a diesel would short out as it would go through the flood, and it would short out and you get stuck. Whereas a steam engine can tread through 3 to 4 feet of water and not have any problems. Of course, that all changed once there was flood work, flood prevention done on that river. So it's kind of cool to see some of the pictures of 557 passing through Nenana Depot, or I should say passing by Nenana Depot, and there's flood water all around. But I can guarantee you that because of that, that helped 557 out from being sold to scrap, at least sold to scrap sooner. This is all volunteer labor that's put in here, and people's gracious donations, as well as grants and in-kind donations. We're gonna climb on down here, and you can see there's whistles and there's bells and other cool stuff up there on top there. And you know, we haven't ever looked on top of the tender. Here's the top of the tender here. She's an oil burner, as you can see here. So if anyone is interested, you can check out my friend John Combs' website, alaskarails.org, and click on the 557 info icon on the left-hand side of the screen. You can also check out their Facebook page, 557 Restoration Company. And like I said, they're on Facebook. There you can learn more about this piece of history, and you can find out how to donate or become involved if you are so interested. There's also monthly reports that get put up, and those monthly updates will tell you all about the happenings on the locomotive. All right, folks, thanks for watching.